الحمد لله رب العالمين الرحمن الرحيم مالك يوم الدين وأشهد أن لا إله إلا الله ولي الصالحين وأشهد أن محمدا عبده ورسوله بعثه الله بين يدي الساعة بشيرا ونذيرا وداعيا إلى الله بإذنه وسراجا منيرا. In a hadith which is reported by Imam Ahmad, and it is authentic hadith from a great companion Suhaib al-Rumi radiallahu anhu. Suhaib is telling us that Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam, whenever he was praying and finishes to pray, he would say things that we didn't hear. So he would always do that. And we didn't know, Suhaib says, we didn't know what Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam was saying. So one day Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam asked them, have you observed me saying things that you don't hear? And they said, yes, Ya Rasulullah. And then Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam told them why he said those words. Whatever he was saying, he told them, I remember a prophet, one of the prophets of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. He was given very, very big army to defend him and to defend the cause of the religion. This prophet says, who can defeat this army? He felt proud and he had that pride in himself with the big army, and he said, who can defeat these people? Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala didn't like this kind of arrogance, didn't like this kind of the feeling, and he said to the prophet straight, you got to choose one of the three punishments. Either death, so that I kill you and all of you die, or Allah send an army from outside to come and defeat you, or hunger. This prophet said to his people, we've been punished by Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala for that pride. So what should we do? The people said, you are prophet of Allah, then it's up to you to choose whatever Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala told you to do. This hadith, respected brothers and sisters, as I have said, is authentic hadith. It's reported by Imam Ahmad, and with the authentic chain of the reporters, and the root of the hadith is actually in the book of Imam Muslim, so it's authentic. We have no doubt about it. This prophet felt pride because of the strength and the army that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala gave it to him. And this is the sunnah of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Whenever you have that arrogance in you, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala will punish you. Any moment you have that feeling, you have that arrogance inside you, straightforward, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala will punish you, regardless of whether you are prophet or you are normal Muslim or you are anyone in this world. Whenever you have that, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala will punish you. It's like in the story of Hunayn. Hunayn, Muslims were engaged in the battle with the tribes of Thaqif and Hawazin after they conquered Mecca, and the Mecca was under the control. The Muslim army was so big, more than 10,000 fighters. And then added to that, the new Muslims from Mecca, etc. When they were going to Hunayn and they were chasing Thaqif and Hawazin, Muslims said, who can defeat this army? The same as the people of that prophet said, They said, who can defeat this army? And Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is telling us in the Quran, وَيَوْمَ حُنَيْنٍ إِذَا عَجَبَتْكُمْ كَثْرَتُكُمْ فَلَمْ تُغْنِ عَنْكُمْ شَيْئًا وَضَاقَتْ عَلَيْكُمُ الْأَرْضُ بِمَا رَحُبَتْ. When you felt very pleased with the big number of yours, that did not help you, and everything was so difficult for you. At that day, when they were in that moment, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala turned the tables around them. The Hawazin were were very good in throwing arrows, good archers. So what they done, they went around and they started to throw against the Muslims, and all Muslims went back and they were running everywhere. Because of that, Allah says, ثُمَّ وَلَّيْتُمْ مُدْبِرِينَ, to the point that Prophet ﷺ was left alone with only few people, and then he told Al-Abbas, call the people back again, we can rearrange and we can put ourselves together. And Abbas started to call everybody, please come back, and people started to come back again, and then from there they started to fight again. So the lesson is there, that the moment they felt arrogant and proud because of the strength and the big number of the army, that moment Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala decided to punish these people. And as I've said, this is the sunnah of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, that whenever you have arrogance and pride in what you have, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala will punish you, and you will be defeated and you will be weak, even if in that group you have prophets, even if you have Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alayhi wasallam in that group. So coming back to the hadith, that prophet then went to pray. The prophet that was told by Allah to choose one of the three punishments then went to pray, doing istikhara, asking Allah for the advice, because istikhara means asking advice from Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. So he went to pray, asking Allah to give him advice, and then he thought enemy from outside is not good option, hunger is not good option, then it's better than if I die. Then, because death anyway is coming, there is no other way, I will definitely die. So he chose to die. He died on spot, and then Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala decided on that day 70,000 of that army were killed on that very day. So that was the punishment for those people. Now coming back to what the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam was saying, he remembered why he was saying whatever he was saying. So what actually Prophet was saying is this: Allahumma bika uqatil wa bika usawil wa la hawla wa la quwwata illa billah. There's no strength, there's no trick, no plans except in Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Ya Allah, I fight for you, I revenge for you, I do everything that I do that for you. And he would say this because if he prays and he looks back at the companions, how strong they are, how ready they are to do anything that he is telling them, how good the people were behind him, he felt probably I'll feel arrogant because of this, and then he would say these words: Allahumma bika uqatil wa bika usawil wa la hawla wa la quwwata illa billah al-ali al-azim.